Hi everyone, today I will talk about where to get ideas for your project. The first thing to start with is to decide on the direction or directions. From the last lesson you remember that the work can be engineering or research. Choose whichever is closer to you. Now choose the direction. If it is research, then decide whether you want to do physics, chemistry, mathematics, or maybe something else. If this is an invention, then think about what area of engineering your device or software will be in. If you are in doubt between several directions, then rank the one that ignites you the most. If it was you, not your parents or convincing supervisor. Try to narrow down the choice to at least 2 or 3 directions. If you are interested in several areas, then this is generally even better, because work at the junction is often more interesting and most promising. But remember that it will be much more difficult to do them, since you will have to understand even more areas of science. Second thing to do is to write down all your skills. Everything that you know how to do or really want to learn in the near future, including hobbies. No, especially hobbies. What you can do without getting tired. Write out first. With a list of areas of interest to you and a list of your skills in front of you, you can proceed to next step. Search for idea. More specifically, now you need to start looking for problems. No kidding. Any good project is a solution to someone's problem. If your project doesn't solve anyone's problem, it's doomed to fail, even if it's research. Because even research often solves the problem of some technical limitation, such as insufficiently strong alloys or the absence of cure for some disease. Even unexplored areas of mathematics are called problem. Look at your life first and think about what you don't like, or maybe there is something you lack. Do you want a robot assistant that will clean the room for you? And you like programming? Good topic. Do you want a smart home system and understand electronics? Correct. How to make the project unique is the second topic. If the robot assistant itself is very unique, then for a smart house, for example, it was coming up with your own application and making functions that no one else has. You can also research your friends or parents. Look for what they don't like about their everyday apps or devices they use and figure out how to do better. The second method is my favorite, but in it you need to be able to strictly filter out, postpone or simplify tasks. These are the global problems of mankind and your dreams for their realization. Do you dream of giving people thermonuclear power plants? Let's start with a room fusion reactor or, for example, a modified sensor to work with it. Dreaming of interstellar travel? Maybe we can assemble a miniature ion-powered shuttle or our own nanosatellite for research. Do you want to build your own aircraft of a unicorn design? Let's build it in miniature. The third way is to talk people who could suggest a topic for your project. In academia, every researcher has a few pending topics, and entrepreneurs almost always have some pending project or issues in their active business. Talk to them and try to decide. This is perhaps the most reliable way that a supervisor, mentor, or the first client can give you a bonus to the topic. As an option, try to get into research institute or just the department of the university you intend to enter, on an open day or during some event. Ask high school graduates, which you know, who have already entered the university to take you to the department and ideally introduce you to someone. To get started, just come and ask questions. Find out what they are working on and what problems they are. If you understand that you are interested, offer help and say that you are ready to do a project that is useful to them in exchange for support and access to the laboratory. You can also go to startup event and communicate with the existing entrepreneurs. Many of them have a dozen patent projects, which they often gladly talk about. The previous method were most suitable for engineering projects, so the first method will help you find a hard science topic. To get started, you can start reading scientific publications in a field that interests you. To do this, subscribe to the MIT mailing list, or for example visit Google Scholar regularly and look for the latest publication in your field there. While reading articles, constantly look for and write out questions like why does it work the way it does? Then look for answers to these questions in other scientific articles, without reference to date. Then look for answers to the question in the other scientific articles, without reference to the date. Perhaps you will come across a topic that you studied in 1965 year, or maybe you will find a really good topic for research. An example of this approach using the sun. Why does the sun shine? Because nuclear reactions take place there and their energy in the form of light reaches to the Earth. Why do nuclear reactions take place there? Because gravity compresses hydrogen and its nuclei begin to match with other nuclei. Why do nuclei fuse? Because the nuclear forces begin to exceed the electromagnetic forces. What are nuclear forces and where do they come from? I think there are a number of articles on this topic, after reading which you will come to topic that could be explored. The bottom line is that we are from childish question, why does the sun shine? We go to the bottom of question of the fundamental structure of matter. After doing this cycle 3, 4, 5 times, you will at least become very cool in some area of science. The purpose of this work is for you to collect about 10 questions that you could not answer after through search for information and reading articles. With them, you can come to research assistants who you can reach through school or acquaintances and talk to him about this question. For some of them, he will tell you where you can find answers. You will postpone some of the questions because you simply will not have the resources for experiment, and something will become your scientific work. At the end of topic, I recommend collecting all these questions and answering in mind map, so you can more visibly work with the topic and you will have convenient summary of resources. I use Figma because it's where I design for my project and I'm used to it. If your goal is mind mapping, I recommend buying a mind map manager or using Miro. It will speed up your work a little. Well, this is an example of a map that I would draw while studying the topic of why the sun shines. Thank you for watching. Write clarifying questions and ideas for new lessons in the comments. In the next lesson, we'll look at how to use interviews to test your ideas and how not to conduct surveys. You can find useful links in the description of video, and if you don't watch the video immediately after release, then most likely a link to the next lesson has already appeared in the corner. Bye everyone!